Hello, let's look at the agenda for Tuesday, November 28th, as I am out today. I did explain one thing on Monday, another thing I did not explain, and that's why I'm part of the reason why I'm making this video. Part of the reason is to affirm what's going on. Welcome to my home office. Yes, I do go home on occasion. I'm going to stop the webcam and hide my big fat head. One of first on the agenda, do at the end of the hour. Peter the Great, a Peter the Great question on what we follow up to what we learned on Monday with the Russian Empire. So take a look at what we got going on here. So you see where Peter the Great has traveled. One of the questions is the map. You see where Peter the Great has traveled into Western Europe. Remember, one of the things we learned about was him westernizing based on his travels and some of the things that he did to westernize Russia. One of those things was the Western dress, and this is a description of that Western dress. And basically, he says that Western dress has to be worn by all the boyars. Remember, the boyars are those Russian nobles, members of a council court gentry. And he talks about how the upper dress should be a French or Saxon cut, English, lower dress, waistcoat, German saddles, Western dresses, hats, Circassian coats, sheepskin coats, etc. So basically, what is he describing here? He's describing what is he describing here? He's describing Western dress. And remember, he made that trip into Europe, and he started wanting the boyars and other Russians to adopt Western ways. That was a big part of their modernization, right? That we learned about on Monday. So this is a practice test question. One of the questions asks you using the map, information, text, and your knowledge of history. How Peter the Great used absolute power to shape Russia, both politically and socially. Remember that politically would be changes in politics, like what he did with the boyars, taking their power away, and then what he did with moving St. Petersburg and fighting wars. Remember, one of the things that is looking at battles, and opening up the freshwater port of St. Petersburg and his movement, and then socially with what he did with forming westernization and so on. So use some of your knowledge. Two observations from the map, reading the key and the italicized description. Make two observations from the map. Answer the question that Google got using the map, the knowledge, your knowledge of Peter the Great. The information in the text, your knowledge of history in this unit. So you could say information in the text, information in using your notes from yesterday, slides 11 and 12, looking at this and putting it together. How did Peter the Great shape Russia both politically and socially? And use the examples. You don't have to quote everything. You're not quoting everything, but you're using the examples of the example address as a starting point, and then the map. You got to putting it together. So we'll see how we do on that. That's due at the end of the hour. And then, of course, the 30-year reference questions, which I already went through. The 30-year reference questions. There's a reference sheet, and basically you could answer this as many times as you want to get the score, to get full completion. Remember that it'll be returned to you. You can copy and paste these back in if you have to fix the true-false questions on the 30 Years' War. Remember the 30 Years' War? We did this yesterday. We did notes on this yesterday, the 30 Years' War, and then you're going to do an Ed puzzle on the 30 Years' War. This is not a live Ed puzzle. This is an Ed puzzle that is on your own. Yes, it's John Green one, but it's an Ed puzzle. It's on your own. It's all multiple choice, but it gets the background of the 30 Years' War more than I went into in class on Monday. Remember, in class on Monday, we took a few notes. The sides. Remember, this was a post-Protestant, post-Charles V situation in Central Europe with Ferdinand, the brother of Philip, taking over as the Holy Roman Emperor. Remember, that's the Christ, the Pope's representative in Central Europe. And basically, he says he kind of ignores the edict of the Peace of Augsburg, shuts down the Protestant churches. That causes a revolt. Remember, Bavaria and Bohemia; those are German states. Germany is not a united nation yet. We're gonna talk about something on Wednesday that ends this, but it's a very unsettling. It's a very short piece called the Peace of Westphalia. But and here you've got some of the key events of the war, which I will follow up with on Friday on Wednesday. But the video will cover them as well as the sheet, as well as the sheet that you have. And also, one last thing: if you've not finished the the last of the absolutism pair deck that's attached in assignment 22, specifically Bossuet's, what effects would Bossuet's words have on the people, and a response to his position on the role of the monarch. This is slide 5 in the notebook. Slide 5 in the notebook, as well as slide 5 in the notebook, as well as pasting it into the pair deck. And a response on his position on the role of the monarch. Remember, it's very unique that he would have this position that the monarch is supposed to be this holy divine figure, when really it's the Pope that would be the holy divine figure, according to what is believed by the Catholic Church and a Catholic bishop who's supposedly a leader in the Catholic Church. Okay, so the 30 Years War sheet and Ed puzzles due tonight, and the Pastor Peter Westernizing, you should be able to finish that in class. Should really be able to probably finish all of this in class on Tuesday. We're not here to dink around, so that's what you're supposed to be doing. Sixth hour, your ability to work together in the future will depend on your ability to see where we're at with this. We're not gonna have another disappointment from Friday. So there we go. I will see you all on Wednesday, and Minyata.